Welcome to the Unfuck Your Relationships podcast, the podcast where we are not just unfucking your love life, but unfucking your relationship to yourself and your entire life. Around here, we raise your standards, we break patterns, we upgrade your self-concept. We are talking about boundaries, money, shadow work, your relationship to your body, sex, all of it. We are covering your entire life, baby. Think of this podcast as like big sister energy where I am no fluff, no bullshit, but I am also very open with my heart and I'm going to share all of me with you, and that will be able to transform your entire life through you listening to this podcast. So if you are ready to stop settling for the bare minimum and actually be the woman that you can wake up in the morning and be proud of, you are in the right place. Let's get into today's episode. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Unfuck Your Relationships podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Panning, and this is episode 230. And today I'm going to be talking about how to get your spark back. If 2025, if your year was anything like mine, and like most people's, it was a lot. It was a lot. And this year, 2025 for me was starting to get my spark back. Yeah. So for everyone, this was the year of the snake. It is a year 9. So in numerology, that is like the completion of a 9-year cycle. So as we head into 2026, that is a year 1. So that is all about renewal, rebirth, fresh energy. Thank fuck for that. So 2025, if it felt like you were in a tumble dryer, you are not alone in that. This was the space where like I lost friendships, like I ended friendships. I went through a breakup. I started a new relationship that was obviously not a shedding. That was a good thing, but shedding of old patterns. Like so much has happened. I've retired like a million offers in my business. I'm retiring the retreats. Like these are the last ones that I remember running. So like just so much has been a completion. And honestly, like the first half of this year was me learning how to get back my spark. And then the second half of the year was like me actually enjoying the fruits of my labor. And especially like I've told you guys, my word for the year is discipline. And I'm so excited for that. And I didn't wait till January 1st to start that. Like I hired a coach, I hired a health coach. I've been hitting my macros and my calories consistently. I have been going to the gym consistently. I've been hitting my steps every single day. So it's like I didn't wait for that to happen, and this has given me already so much confidence and I'm feeling so good about myself just because I'm doing it. Not even for the like losing weight or like, I've already lost centimeters off my waist and all the things. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. But that's a byproduct of the woman that I've become through this process. And I'm literally only a few weeks in. So let's get into how to get your spark back. I'm going to take you through 5 tips on how to actually get your spark back this year. So tip number 1 is that your spark comes from your aliveness, not the things that you think you should be doing. So we can get very, very caught up in work, errands, Netflix, sleep. Work, errands, Netflix, sleep. Like just very caught up in the monotonous day to day. This is what I should be doing, or I'm going to the gym because I should, or I'm doing this because I should, or I'm dating this way because I think I have to, or I'm communicating this way because I have to. When if you want your spark back, it comes from your erotic current, and that comes from your aliveness. And that doesn't mean sexual turn on, although it could absolutely look like that. It is about following the impulses of what feels good. And this is where most people go wrong, particularly when they get into relationships. And I've said this before, people lose themselves in relationships all the fucking time because they forget that they are an individual in a relationship. So I've said this before where I'm like, act single in a relationship. I don't mean go fuck other people and don't honor the boundaries and limitations of your relationship. What I mean is, where's the woman who took herself on solo dates? Where's the woman who still had hobbies? Where's the woman who saw her friends or just read for pleasure or, did these things that just gave her joy? People get into relationships and then they completely become consumed by the relationship and they lose themselves entirely and then wonder why they're miserable because they've fallen into codependency and they're like, oh my fucking God. So follow what feels good and experiment. One of the greatest tools that I ever did, and I didn't even finish it, I kind of half-assed it to be honest, was The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. It's a book, it's a 12-week kind of program, if you will, about creative expression. And that, when I did that protocol, it was honestly the happiest time of my life. I think I'm going to actually bring it back, particularly the morning pages. And I would take myself on solo dates every single week. And honestly, like I've kind of dropped off on that a little bit actually since being in a relationship. So that's one of the things that I will absolutely be bringing back, of like how to be single in a relationship so that you never lose that aliveness. And there will be things that you want to try that your ego is going, oh no, that's cringe. No, don't do that. That's too much. That's fucking weird. You're going to be the only one there. You don't know anyone. Who cares? Who cares if it's fucking cringe? Do the things that bring you joy. So, for instance, for me, I was like, oh, I just feel so self-absorbed, honestly. It's like my business, my friends, my podcast, my blah, 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 blah. All the things were about me, 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 me. And so I applied to volunteer at like a domestic violence charity, essentially. So that's something that I'm going to be doing. So my application just got approved last night. So that's really, really exciting. So that I will be starting whenever they tell me. So I'm like, because that feels good for me to be in service and in contribution and something that is outside of myself. Yes, I'm in contribution here, I'm in contribution in my business, but there's obviously like a return on investment, like a direct ROI on that versus volunteering somewhere. Like that just feels good. Me going for ocean swims, that feels good. Now I'm going to need to take a fucking course on ocean safety because y'all, I don't understand. Your girl grew up in Toronto. Well, outside of Toronto in Canada. I didn't grow up on a fucking ocean. I don't understand riptides and the currents and all the things. I literally went for a walk the other day with my bestie and we were gonna go for a swim, but there were a million blue bottle jellyfish everywhere. Like on our walk, honestly, there must have been 100 plus on the beach. So this has nothing to do with anything, but it's the fact that I'm like, okay, cool. I like ocean swims. I want to get better at that. I really want to take singing lessons. I love to just sing in the car. I love to go for drives. I love to take myself to the movies. There's so many things that I love to do, and that is where your aliveness comes from. And I have always said the more fun I have, the more money I make, and I swear to God, it is fucking true. So that is tip number 1. Tip number 2 is stop trying to resurrect the old you. I hear this so much. I miss who I was when I was 23. Or this is in relationships. I miss the honeymoon phase. And this is the truth that no one wants to tell you, because what you actually mean is I miss the version of myself before I experienced heartbreak or betrayal or perceived abandonment or rejection, or I miss the version of myself before I tried and failed. I miss the version of myself where before I let my insecurities get the better of me. That's actually what we miss. It's not a period of time in our lives. When we think about a relationship, it's not, oh, I miss like the spark in the beginning. No, it's I miss who I allowed myself to be. I allowed myself to be on. I was excited. We were having fun. We weren't complacent. And that's something that can happen very, very, very easily. Like I've seen it a million times in my clients' relationships, in my own relationships, where it's very easy to become complacent. And it's fucking hard when someone gives you that reflection of like, you're being fucking complacent in your life. And it's like, oh, fuck. Okay, cool. I see that and I can recognize it and I'm going to do better. But this thing of, I want to be who I was before XYZ, or I want the old version of me back. This is what no one's going to tell you. She's not fucking coming back. It's not coming back. She's dead. but you can create an equally incredible version. It's just different. This is called evolution. So it's not about trying to be who you were when you were 20, 30, 40, 50 years old. And you see like older people, in their 50s, 60s, 70s. I say older because I'm 36, like grasping for youth, grasping for, and I don't mean even just like externally, although that can obviously happen, but even just internally, like just trying to like replicate the quote unquote the good old days. And it's kind of sad, right? Because what is so magnetizing about someone is someone who is present. So stop trying to resurrect the old you and create a new version of yourself that is even better. Tip number 3 is stop leaking your life force energy into men, partners, social media, your phone, other people's opinions, everything outside of yourself. It is very easy to become consumed by the external. What is going on? What does he think of me? Why hasn't he texted me back? What does this person think of this post that I put out? What about this? What about that? What about that? Your energy is being pulled in a million different directions. And what is so attractive about someone is someone who is self-contained, someone who is connected to themselves, someone who is connected to their body. They value their own opinions. They're not getting sucked into the lives of everybody else. They're self-focused. And I don't mean self-absorbed, but they're actually like locked in, focused, driven, and can actually focus on their internal world as well. When people say that they've lost their spark, they're saying, I've lost connection to myself. And I would argue that that's not necessarily true. It's just that your energy is scattered as fuck. And so it's bringing that energy back into center. And that's, I didn't know it at the time when I named the connected woman, I didn't know really what that meant. I mean, obviously I know what it meant, but I didn't know what it was going to mean in the grand scheme of things in my world and my business. Fun fact, the first round of the Connected Woman used to be called the Sultry Sister. I know. This is proof. Let yourself be cringe. Let yourself evolve. Oh my God, the fucking Sultry Sister. Lol. Shout out if you were in that round. How fun. But the Connected Woman, it's like I could have never anticipated what those words were going to mean, because that is my entire brand ethos. That is fully what I believe, that if you are not connected to yourself, it doesn't matter if you have the hottest body or you have the best, or you have a relationship, or you have a business, or you're making money, whatever. If you're not connected to yourself, none of it is going to bring you true fulfillment. Because what's the fucking point? If you can't feel it, who cares? So part of getting your spark back is pulling your energy back to yourself and bringing it back home to your body where you can feel, and you're not absorbed in your phone, absorbed in what he's doing. The amount of times I have to tell clients, okay, I get it. He's done XYZ or she's done XYZ. They're not in this container right now. I'm not coaching them. I'm coaching you. So we need to focus on you and what you can control, because no matter what you do, I could give you all the communication tips in the entire fucking world, and it wouldn't make a lick of difference if someone is not open to change, not willing to change, not willing to come to the table, right? I ended a friendship because I was like, I'm literally the only one fucking leaning in here. And for me, that doesn't feel reciprocal. So I'm not willing to do that. But if I got so consumed in the energy of, well, what does she think? And what is she doing? And why is she doing this? And why is she being avoidant? Blah, blah, blah. Don't get me wrong, I had those thoughts, but I had to continuously pull myself back of like, it actually doesn't matter. And I've communicated. And if that's not shifting, I can only control what I can control. So I'm going to pull my focus back to me. I'm going to regulate myself, and I'm going to make a choice that's in alignment with what I value and what I need in a relationship or a friendship. If you're the woman who has consumed all of my podcast episodes and other podcasts, and you've read the self-help books, and you have done little masterclasses, and you've dabbled here and there, but you still keep repeating the same patterns in your love life and in friendships and in money and all of the things, and you're like, fuck, why do I keep doing this? I need to put you onto something. That is the Awakening Retreats. They're happening in January 2026, and they are the place where you get to actually transcend this behavior and finally get to do something different. So, your first retreat is going to be Awakening Her, and this is where you are connecting to your feminine energy, your pleasure, your devotion, your joy, your ecstasy, your rage, your grief, all of these pieces. So you get to live in totality of the woman that you are. And also, you're going to have an opportunity to heal your relationship with women, because the more I work with women, the more I realize how many women have felt betrayed by other women, almost more than they have felt betrayed by men. And you're really focusing on healing your relationship to yourself, to your body, to your sexuality, to your joy, to your confidence, to your insecurities, all of the things. And then your second retreat is Awakening Him. And this is where we're anchoring into your masculine energy. So your relationship to responsibility and integrity, following through on the things that you say that you're going to do, discipline, discernment, direction, all of these things, and healing your relationship with men, as well as then bringing this into a focus of how do you then bring this into relationships. So everything that you learned at Awakening Her and about expansion and emotional expression and all of these things, how do you then hold that containment and bring that into your romantic relationships and your friendships? And that is really the focus of Awakening Him. You can choose to do either or, but I've designed them to go together as a pair, and that is what most women who have decided to do the retreats have chosen to do. I do want to say these are the last retreats that I'm going to be running. If you've been saying, oh, I'll go to the next one, or when you come to the States, I'll do it. I'm never running one in the States. I can tell you that right now. And I'm not running more retreats in the future. This is your time. Make a fucking holiday out of it. Come to Australia. Most of the women who have signed up are coming from the US, which is very cool. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions. Otherwise, the link will be in the description. I cannot wait to see you there. Let's get back to the episode. Tip number 4 is to stop isolating yourself. This is one of my biggest patterns, is when I am stressed, overwhelmed, when I just feel like there's too much going on, my tendency is to withdraw. So I used to be very anxious where I would immediately need to pick up the phone and talk to someone. Oh my God, this thing has happened. And oh my God, I'm so stressed and all the things. And now it's kind of the opposite, where I noticed a lot this year. I would just isolate. I would just be by myself and not want to connect with anyone. And there's still times where I'm like, okay, I need to actually just be in my own energy and I need to be alone. But that's very different from isolating yourself. If you've lost your spark, ask yourself, am I meeting my need for connection? And if you're like, I don't really have a need for connection. We all have a need for connection. Every single person on the planet. As human beings, we are wired to need other human beings. I know all you avoidants are going to be like, absolutely fuck that. I don't need another person. I can just hear my strong, independent women like burning inside, like, I don't need anyone. But it's true. You actually do. And we're wired for connection on a daily basis. In that, though, we all have varying degrees of how much connection we need, right? So someone might have like a 10 out of 10 need for connection, and someone might have like a 7 out of 10 need for connection. So that's fine, but watch the part of you that's like, no, I don't need that. I don't need that at all. And if you have and I work with so many clients on this, if you have no friends and you don't have a partner, you don't have a support system, you're going to feel pretty fucking depressed. So it's not about having a massive community. I'm not a big community person, which is I feel like I get a lot of my need for connection met through my business of like connecting with the women inside the Connected Woman or the experience, and getting to chat to you guys on Instagram and like you guys message me about the podcast and stuff. Like I get a lot of my need met for kind of community through that. But in my day-to-day life, like I have my partner, I have my close girlfriends. That's it. I don't want 1,000 friends. Like that feels like a nightmare to me. But we do need community. So if you've lost your spark, ask yourself, am I getting out into the world? Am I connecting with people? Am I having conversations? A piece of homework that I gave one of my clients who was struggling with this very thing, I was like, right, she lives in New York City, which is like in Manhattan, like just from what I've seen, right? I've only been to Manhattan once, but I was like 16. From what I've seen on the movies, in the movies, it's not the friendliest of places, right? So I was like, cool. I want you to compliment a stranger every single day for the next week. Why? Because you're in contribution, you're connecting with someone, and you're giving. It's going to make you feel good. And of course, she was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And at first, it was like, fuck, this is so hard. And like, this is really scary. And I'm like, I know. And then it started to get easier. And I was like, hey, babe, like, how are you feeling in general in your life? And she was like, I feel so much better. Like, I've just been feeling like really good the past couple of weeks. I'm like, interesting. So if you want to get your spark back, stop fucking isolating yourself, put yourself out there, be in community. And this is why I love spaces like, yeah, I'm going to plug my spaces, particularly like the connected woman and then the experience for sure, because you're in there for a year. You develop these friendships that, the women are like, a lot of the women from the connected woman and the experience are coming to the retreats and they're like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you, babe. I can't believe we've been talking for like, 8 months now. And now we're going to get to actually finally meet in person. And do you want to share an Airbnb together for like the time in between the two retreats? And I've had clients who like literally, one will be in, I'm just making this up, but like California, and the other one's in Florida, and they like fly to meet each other. And I just think that's like the cutest thing ever. So don't underestimate the power of online spaces, because I don't want to fucking hear it if you're like, oh, but I live in a space where like we don't really have those things. I'm like, go do things that interest you. Go do breath work, go to a meditation class, go do pole dancing. I'm this, there's this chick, I don't even know if she listens to my podcast, but she's messaged me on Instagram, and she runs this like sexy and sensual Pilates and yoga on Saturday mornings. And it's just like every fucking Saturday I've been busy, but I'm like, I want to go to these classes so bad, because I'm like, that is so fun to me. One, it's moving my body, it's exercise, it's good for me. Like I've talked about my back pain on here, and my chiro was like, you need to be doing like yoga and Pilates. I'm like, cool, but if I can make it sexy and I'm wearing like little like bra and undies, like fucking hot, yes. And then I get to be with other women who are embodying their feminine energy and their sensuality as well. So it's like, get out of your fucking house. And I am, trust me, like pot kettle, uh, I'm the pot calling the kettle black, because it's like, it is so easy for me to just stay home and like rot. So I have to force myself to get out of the house as well. So you're not alone in that. And also, one more thing, TikTok, scrolling TikTok is not connection. That's consumption. And finally, tip number 5, your spark is hidden in the thing that you are avoiding. Let that land. Your spark is hidden in the thing that you are avoiding. What creates a lack of spark is stagnation, is stillness. It's like I just have this image of like pond water that's just, like sat there for ages, and there's bugs and mosquitoes and like algae and fucking, it's just like dirty, scummy pond water, versus an ocean that is like full of aliveness, and there's a current and waves and like, all of this like marine, like wildlife, and there's just so much aliveness in there. So what creates aliveness, what creates that erotic current, that erotic pulse that we were speaking about, is action, is motion, is friction. People are allergic to fucking discomfort. And I've been one of those people, to be honest. One of my highest values is comfort. This is why, like, I don't know if anyone follows Lazy Millionaire on Instagram, but I fucking love her. And I'm like, damn, I wish I coined that, like Lazy Millionaire, because that is me. I can be so fucking lazy. I value comfort so much. Like, if I can outsource it, I absolutely will. Like, I want to spend my life just in full pleasure. But I also saw where I took it too far and I got into like a lot of complacency and stagnation. And so that energy of creating friction and moving through discomfort, like this fitness journey that I'm on, I'm like, it's fucking hard. It is hard, but every time I'm like, yes, I feel so good. I feel so accomplished. I feel so proud of myself. And there's a spark, there's an aliveness. People can feel my magnetism in that. So this doesn't have to be fitness for you. This could be your spark is hidden in the boundary you're refusing to set, the difficult conversation that you are avoiding, the business that you are not ready to pull the pin on, the investing into the connected woman or the experience or the retreats. It's like, what's the thing that you know that you need to do, or the thing that you know you want to do, but you haven't pulled the pin on it yet? When this last round of the connected woman, everyone does an intro video, and I was asking, what drew you to this program? And everyone was sharing, I've been listening to the podcast for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. And I finally pulled the pin on the connected woman. And I was like, this is really curious. I'm so interested in this. What took you so long? Like, not from a space of judgment, from a space of curiosity. I was like, what was the gap between you finding the podcast and then it taking you 3 years to sign up? And people were like, oh, like I was just scared of who I was going to become on the other side. I was scared of the investment. I was scared that I wouldn't be able to do it, all of these things. And every single person was like, this is the best thing I've ever done. I'm so glad I did this. I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. And the reason I share that is because we've all had moments like that where the anticipation of doing the thing is so much worse than the actual thing. And we do the thing and we're like, oh my God, why didn't I do that sooner? That was literally like so much easier than I thought it would be. And I feel so relieved now that that's over. So the more that we can take action and we don't sit in deliberation forever, the easier it is going to be for you. And that is going to help you get your spark back. Now, if you're listening to this thinking, oh my gosh, I do all of those things. That is me. I feel like a shell of myself. You guys know that trend that's like, people think I don't know ball. Trust me, I know ball, or whatever it is. And people show like their like glow up. If you're still in the I'm a shell of myself era, then you are going to want to make space and time to come to the Awakening retreats. They're happening January 16th to the 19th and the 23rd to the 26th, 2026. Yes, we're time traveling to the past. So literally in a couple of weeks, you still got time if there's still spots left. Because this is the space where you stop abandoning yourself. You find your fucking spark. You're in community. You stop isolating yourself. You take action on the things that you say that you want. You connect to yourself and you're connected to your body. You pull that focus back to yourself. All of these things that I just said about how to get your spark back, these are the spaces where we do it in real time. So you don't need to take 7 years of therapy for this to happen. You get to do it in literally 2 weekends. So if you're feeling that internal pull of like, oh my God, should I, shouldn't I? Oh, can I afford to do this? Like, can I take time off? Oh, but the kids, but this is money to invest in myself. Time to pull the trigger and take action. The link will be in the description, in the show notes. You can DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, and I would love to support you. I will see you in the next episode. I love you so much. Have a fantastic week. Mwah. Bye. All right, my love, thank you so much for listening to today's podcast episode. Take what resonates and leave the rest. There is no obligation, but you do have a responsibility to yourself to actually do the work. So implement what you have learned here. Let this episode be a reminder that you are built for more. You are not built for the bare minimum. You are not built for mediocre. You are meant to live a big, beautiful, bold life. And if you want to go deeper, come follow me over on Instagram at Michelle Panning. The link will be in the description. That is where I share all the behind the scenes content, and you will get to follow me and my journey as I raise my standards alongside you. So I love you. I believe in your next level, and I will see you in the next episode. Now go unfuck your life, babe.